Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In this lesson, we will talk about verbs with two objects. Now, if you take this verb hasiba, which means to think or to consider, and we say hamidun, we know that this is in rafa form, so this is the subject. So, Hamid thought or Hamid considered, and then the object is Zaidan. This looks incomplete. So the question that comes in our head is, what did Hamid think about Zaid, or what did he consider related to Zaid? This next sentence makes more sense. So here we have hasiba, which is the verb, hamidun, which is the subject. So Hamid is the one who's thinking or considering. And then we have Zaidan aliman. So this would mean that Hamid considered Zaid an alim. So clearly this verb hasiba needs two objects, and that is what we have over here. Notice that when we have an active tense verb, so hasiba is active, then the two objects are both in nasab form. When we have a verb which is in passive form, and let's say this verb has two objects, then the first object is considered the naib al-fa'il and is in rafa form. The second object is in nasab form. So husiba is clearly passive. We know that because of the dhamma over here. Husiba Mahmudun aliman. This translation would be Mahmud is considered an alim. Since this is passive, the subject is removed. Mahmudun is an object, but it's a naib al-fa'il. That's why it's in rafa form. And then the second object is in nasab form. So again, the translation is Mahmud is considered an alim. Now some quick vocabulary. I want you to pause here and learn these words. And now I want you to do these translations. When doing translations, first identify the verb. Think about whether the verb is passive or active and whether it is singular or plural. So keep that in mind. And then we also just talked about verbs that take two objects, and hasiba is one of them. So notice we have hasiba showing up twice. So try to translate all four. Hopefully this is what you got. The first one is they considered Hamid an alim. This is they because we have plural over here, and this is also active. So we have the subject, which is they. Next we have Husiba Hamidun aliman. We saw this before. Hamid is considered an alim. This is passive, therefore we don't have a subject. Anta sharibta labanan. Question, anta, you, sharibta, so did you drink milk? And then here we have passive, shuriba labanun, the milk was drunk. Ja'ala Allahul arda firashan. Ja'ala means he made. The subject is Allah because Allah is in rafa. Al arda is earth. So he made the earth. Firashan means floor. So Allah made the earth a floor. More translations. Again, I want you to translate, and then the solution will be on the next slide. So hopefully this is what you got. Fasting was prescribed on them. This is kutiba, so this is passive. That's why who prescribed the fasting is not mentioned. Fasting was prescribed on them, and this is the fasting. Kama, like kutiba, was prescribed on those before them. Duribat means was hit. And again, this is passive, so we don't have a subject. So they were hit with humiliation and weakness. Azilla is humiliation, maskanatu is weakness. And then finally, innamal mu'minuna alladhina iza zukirallahu wajilat qulubuhum. Wajilat we saw in the vocabulary. The believers are only those. Innama gives the meaning of only. So the believers are only those. Iza, when, zukira, this is passive. So when it is mentioned, What is mentioned? Allah. So when Allah is mentioned, wajilat means to have this feeling of fear, qulubuhum, in their hearts. That is it for this lesson.